Megan Hicks of I Run Far, and I'm with Tom Evans. It's the day before the 2018 Trail World Championships. We're on the Mediterranean coast of Spain. Good morning.
Good morning, Megan. Thanks very much for having me.
How are you doing? This is my first time meeting you.
Yeah, I'm good. Had a good flight yesterday. So nice to be here. I've been lucky enough to spend a little bit of time out in Spain preparing for the race, and training's gone as well as it can. So just really looking forward to towing the start line tomorrow. Try not to get too excited today.
I think you're pretty excited today. We've just had a nice conversation. I think you're pretty excited.
Yeah, it's been representing Team GB for me is a huge honour. My first international vest, and what a place to do it. Amazing weather, amazing trails, and got loads of other friends who are running. So it should be it's going to be an awesome race.
So this is I Run Far's first time speaking with you. I think this is my first time seeing you race. I saw you at the CCC briefly, but it'll be my first time watching you start to finish. Who is Tom Evans?
That's a question I've been asking myself. Everyone wants to know.
Okay.
So I'm 26 years old.
Okay.
From the UK. I live in London. Started running properly April 2017, so just over a year ago with Marathon des Sables, and since then have just trying to figure out what type of running I like the most, and it sort of turns out that it's in and around sort of the 50 miles to 100k.
Okay.
I've been in the army for 7 years serving with the Welsh Guards, which has been an incredible experience, and I owe a lot of my physical but mainly mental strength to them.
Tough training days.
Yeah, exactly. Very tough training days, but lots of mates to get you around as well. My coffee of choice is a flat white with oat milk. Very cool.
Okay.
And my guilty pleasure is an almond croissant. There you go. That's all you need to know about me. That's it. Yeah.
And you're not so good with the poles yet, maybe?
No, I'm very bad with those wizard sticks.
Learning about them.
Yeah, I think they're really useful. But it's something that you've really got to practice with. And living in London, living in the UK, if you was to use poles in Richmond Park or somewhere where Richmond Park, for those who don't know, it's like a big park just in the west of London. It's like an 8-mile loop around the outside. You might get 200 meters of climbing in 800 meters. Sorry, in 8 miles. If you used poles on the one climb in there, you just get looked at me like, what is this? I get all these weird looks anyway. So yeah, I've been using them. Used them in the Eiger, used them at CCC. And we'll use them for a bit of the race this year, and it's nice that you can pick them up at one point and then drop them off somewhere else. So yeah, I'll be using them, but probably not very well. I end up doing more damage to myself and probably others around me, but yeah, they're useful, I think.
And so you're an adult onset runner, basically. Yeah,
pretty much. I sort of discovered it by accident.
Okay.
Signed up to Marathon des Sables after a couple of beers.
Just a very typical for a young man in the UK.
Yeah, exactly. We have
especially Army.
Yeah, the British Army. There certainly used to be a sort of culture of drinking, and then nowadays it's quite a lot more professional. However, because you work incredibly hard, you need to relax, and going for a couple of beers with some mates is the perfect way to do it. And so I had some friends who did Marathon des Sables in 2016, and they did really well. They finished top 200. And yeah, after a couple of beers, we were sort of chatting about it, and I said sort of pretty confidently that, yeah, top 200, yeah, that's really good, but there are still 190 people who are better than you. And they're like, well, you haven't done it, so it's really hard. And I'm like, oh, fine, I'll do it then. Signed up the next morning, and here we are today.
Third.
Yeah, came third, which is crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and
the Moroccans out there, they're pretty fast. Getting on the podium out there is pretty serious business.
Yeah, it was pretty surreal. So you're telling me it's pretty surreal for me. I had no idea. Like, I went out hoping to finish the top 50, maybe top 40. Yeah, and the race just went really well, and it's been pretty crazy since. It's an awesome race. Like, it's different. It's still part of the Ultra Trail World Tour, but it's very different to all of the other races. I think it does still deserve a place because it just does add an extra element of complexity to the race, carrying all of your food. Like, physically, yeah, there's not that much verts, there's not that much climbing, it's not very technical, but so physically it's not that difficult, but it's the mental side of it. It's packing your own food, it's preparing that way, it's
going on for a week of it.
Yeah, going on for a week. Like, your body just drains and drains and drains. And on the long stage, it's 83k. They said, I think it was a little bit longer. It certainly felt a lot longer. But that was the furthest that I'd ever run in one day. So there was so much unknown for me. I had no idea that the wheels were going to fall off at some point, or my body was just going to decide, like, right, no, that's it. Like, stop where you are, we finished. Yeah, somehow managed to pull it together. And yeah, like I said, it's been pretty crazy since. And
since then, you've done some more mountainous stuff.
Yeah.
Eiger Ultra Trail, CCC last summer.
Yeah, so I raced the Eiger.
And I guess the Coastal Challenge is pretty hilly too.
Yeah, the Coastal Challenge, I got offered a place in the Coastal Challenge pretty much as soon as I'd finished Marathon des Sables. Been like, yeah, there's this amazing multi-stage race, TCC, Costa Rica, similar concept to Marathon des Sables, but you don't carry your own kit. And at that point I was like, right, sign me up.
Anything
anything you don't have to carry your kit. Like, amazing opportunity.
And abundant food all week.
Yeah, which is key. Yeah, no almond croissant, sadly. Good coffee though.
Lots of beans and rice.
Lots of beans and rice, which is great. And it was, so I didn't know much about the race, and then the more I looked into it, the more I realised like how much fun it was going to be. I'd never been to Costa Rica before, really wanted to go, and for me it was just a great way to see the culture and meet the people and get to know sort of Costa Rica for what it really is, rather than the touristy places that you might sort of go to on holiday. But yeah, it's a super tough race, and this year the field was incredibly stacked. Like, I'd spoke to Tom Owens, who's another British athlete out here this week, and who won it in 2017, and he was like, yeah, it's an amazing race, but like, you'll run it all on your own. But then they did an amazing job at getting some seriously good runners in, like guys from the US like Timothy Olsen, Hayden Hawks, Mike Wardian, just to name a few, as well as sort of the Costa Rican guys who were seriously quick, and I was there being like, I thought it was going to be like an easy run, and I'm like, right, I'm actually going to have to work pretty hard now. But no, it was awesome, and it was like getting to run with and getting to know like my fellow Hoka teammates, Hayden and Mike, was amazing. Getting to spend like a whole week with them. Like, these guys have been doing it. Mike and Tim certainly have been doing it for a long time. Like, just getting to pick their brains. Like, for me, about to turn full time, like, it's great just to see like how they do everything and how they manage to balance like family life and running and sponsorship and all of these things that you don't think about when you're like, right, I want to be a professional trail runner. And yeah, so it was an awesome experience. And like you say, it's technically and physically, it's a seriously tough race, way harder than Marathon des Sables, on your legs. But because the organisation is so good, you get all this amazing food, you get like your tent's already put up for you, you just can recover so you can perform. Like, yeah, your body's tired, but you're recovering reasonably well, so you can perform to a high standard every day.
So let's talk a little bit about this race. I think Team Great Britain comes in potential medal country. What do you guys think, or what have you been talking about as a team?
To be honest, like, the way that I approach things with my training and my racing, which has come from my coach, Alison Benton in the UK, the AB training group, is we focus.
Got the sponsor drop in there, well done.
Check it. And we focus on the process, not the outcome. So we just make sure that everyone in Team GB is in as good a shape as possible, and then the results will look after themselves. And if things will go right, things will go wrong, but we worry about the process. So whether it's just the build-up training or it's the race itself, but then you can split it down even further into just from checkpoint to checkpoint, or hour 1, hour 2, hour 3. The results will look after themselves. This year, or every year in the World Championships, there's amazing teams, and I think at the moment, personally, I think that the battle for first and second with the countries will be Spain and France. They've both got really strong teams. I've been lucky enough to run against some of the guys before, and good friends with some of them, which is really nice. And then I think the battle for third at the moment is probably US, UK, which will just be really fun to play out tomorrow all day. And if I know there's someone in the US who's a minute ahead of me and I've got 5k to go, then
I'm coming for you.
Yeah, exactly. You'll sort of hear me sort of stabbing myself with my poles, and not my finest hour. But it makes it more exciting that it's a team competition. And if you finished 15th overall, for example, as an individual, that will probably still be good enough to get in the scoring. And if it's the choice of 15th or 16th between the third scorers from UK and the US, if you can get that one extra place, it makes a huge difference. Which for me, coming from a background of team sports, having that sort of team atmosphere and those sort of ethos in trail running, for me it makes it sort of all complete, which is really nice.
I think most of the members of Team GB have seen the course, including you.
Yeah, we were. I was really lucky. The British Army were superb in allowing me time off to go and train and to prepare as well as I possibly can. So I spent a lot of time out here on my own, and then stayed with a couple of Romanians who will do really well, I'm sure. Really nice and that's the nice thing about trail running. It's so family orientated. Everyone, you can just stay with people, stay on their sofas, and it's really nice. But the Team GB also came out for a long weekend.
Okay.
So we did the whole course, of just jumping from checkpoint to checkpoint. That was really nice. We've all seen it. And yeah, I think this course, the profile doesn't replicate the ground as well as some others do. I'm sure it's 100% accurate, but it just doesn't look like it is. It's like a tiny hill, and you get halfway up, and you look at the route on your watch, and this is why am I so tired?
Yeah.
But yeah, so we were really lucky, and it was great for the team bonding to come out here. So we're all now really good friends, and it's nice that when you get to places like this, you've got people to hang out with and sort of chill out with, and not getting each other nervous, and sort of trust the team, trust the process, and the outcome will look after itself.
You stayed in Vista Bella, which is 60k on the course?
Yeah,
like that?
Yeah, it's a little bit over 60k. So it's the last crude checkpoint.
Major checkpoint.
Yeah, and from there, there's then one more checkpoint with about 6-7k to go to the finish. But that's in and around Vista Bella is the hardest part of the course. It's just relentless. You're either going down or up, and they're steep. And for me as a runner, I like the flatter sections where I can really open out. Coming from the UK, it's not that hilly. So a lot of my training is based around the faster, flatter running. So those are the bits that are easier for me. So I want to train on my weaknesses, which are the ups and downs.
Yeah.
So yeah, I made a conscious decision to stay there, so I'd get a lot of vert and descent in my training. And it's a beautiful place. It's 1,400 meters. It got really cold at night though. I wasn't prepared for that.
Is that right?
I sort of came in my little shorts and singlets, and
thought you were coming to the Mediterranean coast for a vacation.
Yeah. We were lit the fire every night, and it was cold. But yeah, I'm so lucky to be able to get out here, and it's such a beautiful course, and it's such an amazing place in the world. And the nice thing about living in the UK is, or for races in Europe, everywhere is close. It's like a 2-hour flight to get here, so you can sort of come out here for a weekend. Whereas for you guys in the US, it's like
a major epic.
it's a serious epic.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't come for a long weekend to do a training camp, and like there's some incredible trails in the US and the training's amazing, but it's so nice knowing, being able to train really specifically for each race, being able to practice like on the climbs. Like the way that I sort of make some like small memories of places around the courses where like we did that, like we did a tempo run up this hill, and then when you get to it in the race, you can have like 15 seconds of like positive thinking, and like, oh yeah, this is like fun. Like, oh, we stopped for a picnic here, and I can't do this tomorrow.
Had some Pringles under that tree.
Yeah, exactly. It's just always nice, and like if you're running with someone, you can like, it's just like it's something like little positive in your head, just sort of keeps you ticking over, keeps you a little bit distracted. That like positive reinforcement, which I think, and with ultra running, it's physically, it's really tough, but it's mentally that I think that's where the races are really won or lost. It's when it gets a bit hard, like your legs are saying, right, stop, my legs are tired, and it's like, well, yeah, but like if there was like a lion chasing you, like you'd still be able to run. And like, how do you get that mentality into it? It's like, I don't particularly want to run any harder or faster. I'd love to stop and just chill out and just eat all the food in my pack. But my legs, I can do it if you believe that you can do it. And I think that's sort of, certainly for me with my military background, giving what may seem at the beginning like an impossible task to complete, but you find a way of doing it. Like you break it down into like manageable chunks, whether it's like checkpoint to checkpoint or hour by hour, and then within
gel to gel.
Yeah, gel to gel.
Got another one down.
Yeah, shot block to shot block. Like sip of water to sip of water. Like, and it just all helps. And like if you looked at these races like as a oneer, being like, right, 85k, 5,000 meters of up. If you looked at that, you'd be like, pretty scary. But just break it down, and it's like running. All you've got to do is just chuck a pair of trainers on and a bib and just go have fun. Like go play on the trails. Like I train incredibly hard, so then so I can enjoy races. And like it's at the time, like there'll be times that you're thinking like this isn't that enjoyable, but it's why we do it. Like I don't train because I like training. I train because I love to race, and just that excitement of the start line, like when everyone shoots off crazy fast, and I'm sure tomorrow's going to be crazy fast start, and then like settling into your rhythm, and you're just looking around like with like new friends, new faces, and on these incredible trails out in Castellón, but then also following like there's history to this trail. Like it's an old pilgrimage route. Like it's so cool thinking that 700 years ago pilgrims were walking this route up to the monastery at San Juan Penigolosa. Like it's so nice having that sort of historical element to it, and you feel that you are becoming part of the trail and part of that history and that culture.
Right on.
Yeah. There we go.
Well, best of luck to you in keeping it easy and fun tomorrow.
Thank you very much. It'll be cool.
And we'll see you out there.
Perfect. Thanks very much, Megan.
Okay.